Yo, what is going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you guys week number 2 of the ICBA. We are taking on Omega Jolteon, coach of the Chicago Carracostas, whichever pronunciation you guys like. If you guys haven't already, go check out Team Builder, uploaded yesterday on Sunday. Give you guys an idea of what we're bringing, why we're bringing, and what they're for. You guys see the team that Omega is bringing is down on the layout as well. And the very nice TCG cards, some of the best art. I just love TCG art. So we're gonna hop right into the battle and waste no time, get right into this. So you guys saw the Nidoking. You guys know from the prep, I brought a Colbert lead Necrozma for the Nidoking because Sucker Punch is the only way that it hits Dawn Wings Necrozma. Otherwise, I pretty much just eat any hit from this thing. So he has nothing that wants to switch into Necrozma. I'm staying in. I'm clicking Photon Geyser turn 1. I have no reason not to. He has no real good switch-ins. I'm going to eat the Sucker Punch up. I'm going to go straight for the Photon Geyser, and Nidoking is going down turn 1. So right away, the prep there with the lead Necrozma worked out perfectly, and Nidoking just did a lot to my team to where he had to lead with the Nidoking. I had no good switch-ins to Nidoking. So in comes the Whimsicott. Now, I'm just going to go out to my Alolan Muck. It gets Prankster. I'm a Dark type. I'm also a Poison type, so I scare this thing out. So I'm not too worried about this Whimsicott at all. It can't do much to me. It can't Leech Seed me. It can't Stun Spore me just because I'm the Dark type. So Alolan Muck coming through there. I'm just going to fire off a Poison Jab. Now, I could have gone for a knockoff and made the safe play, but you know what? The safer play was just to click Poison Jab in case he wanted to stay in at Substitute. So had I clicked Knockoff, I could have probably KO'd the Deoxys. But you know what? We're fine there. Deoxys is going to come in, and now I can fire off a Knockoff. There's no real reason for him to keep Deoxys alive unless he's a Calm Mind Psycho Shift variant. But he's just going to get his rocks up. He was a Hazard's Deoxys. And Alolan Muck will pick up its first kill of the 2018 Season 3 campaign. Now in comes the Tapu Koko. And I'm just going to click Poison Jab here. Again, I don't want to allow for free setup. He could potentially be Calm Mind, so there's no reason for me to let that happen. But I'm just going to fire off a Poison Jab. Just because it's the safe play. Hawlucha's coming in. So, the Electric Seed will kick in as soon as it's brought in. So, Knockoff wasn't good play. It also resists. So, Poison Jab, again, just was the safe play. It's going to do okay amount after the Electric Seed boosting. He's going to go for the Swords Dance here now. I could have gone to Necrozma. But, you know what, +2 acrobatics. I didn't want to risk him going for back-to-back acrobatics. So, I'm just going to stay in. I'm going to click Poison Jab again. If I get Poison Touch, Poison. If I get Poison Jab, Poison. You know what? I'm fine. At this point, I just let Muck go down. I just had to sack off Muck at this point. It did what it needed to do. So now I can go out into my Tapu Fini. And pretty much at this point now, his Hawlucha just has to stay in and attack. That's all it can do. And he's going to go for the acrobatics. And down goes the Tapu Koko to a Tapu Fini Ice Beam. Yes, unfortunately, I weakened my Tapu Fini pretty severely. But again, the Hawlucha had to go. That was pretty much the one cleaner he had on his team. I could have gone to Dawn Wings Necrozma, but again, I just don't want to sack off my Necrozma or risk my Necrozma at all. In comes his Tapu Koko. Now, I'm figuring he's probably just going to stay in and U-turn, get out, get momentum. So my only play here is to stay in, and one of my plays is to stay in and defog. I do have my Mega Camerupt though, and Tapu Koko can't really touch Mega Camerupt unless he has like HP Water. He's going to go for the Wild Charge, so now my Camel gets a free Earth Power. Now I could also get Stealth Rocks up, but he could be defog Tapu Koko, so really wasn't sure about clicking Stealth Rock at this point. He doesn't have much for my Mega Camel. So at this point now, I can just click Earth Power and damage pretty much anything. Slowbro takes a good chunk from Mega Camerupt, depending on his set. And It's going to do about 30%, 25%. Thing is this thing has regenerator, but I do have some switch-ins into his Slowbro. One being my Tapu Fini, so even with Stealth Rocks and his potential attack, whether it's Scald or Psyshock, I can now pretty much just click Defog here this next turn. Now, thankfully, I did not get burned. Had I gotten burned, I don't think Tapu Fini lives now after burn, but I am now able to just defog, get the rocks off of my side of the field, which means Camel's not taking any damage. None of my Pokemon are going to take damage upon entry, and at this point, I have two ways I can win this game. One is weaken Tapu Koko so that Agility Thundurus can go in and win, or Autotomize with Necrozma, and I would have to Autotomize potentially on the Slowbro. So those are my two real options of actually winning the game. He's going to stay in and go for the Dazzling Gleam. Again, I could have gone to Mega Camel to save my Tapu Fini, but at this point, there is no real reason for me to save Fini. It doesn't do much against the rest of his team. I get a free switch into my Porygon now. And with Download, my attack is now rose. Doesn't help me as I have Hidden Power Ground or Hidden Power Fire and Ice Beam. But this turn here, I'm firing off a Toxic because I really anticipated the Slowbro to come in. Instead, he's going to show Guardians of Alola. So I've seen 3 of his moves. Wild Charge, all 4 of his moves actually. I've seen Dazzling Gleam, Wild Charge, U-Turn, and because he used Guardians of Alola, he has Nature's Madness. So this was his one way of really breaking Porygon 2 to an extent. It's going to bring me down 75%. Now I can just click Toxic. So Tapu Koko now is on a timer. Tapu Koko can't live forever at this point now. I know I'm in a very good position. The downside is my Porygon 2 can't really recover up on the Tapu Koko at this range. So now I just have to swap out to my Mega Camel. That's pretty much my only play at this point. As he's going to Wild Charge again, just doesn't affect Camel. And I can fire off a free Stealth Rocks, late game Stealth Rocks now, because it weakens Tapu Koko, who has toxic damage. Slowbro's going to come in, it's going to take Stealth Rock damage, which helps me weaken his team more and more. And with Slowbro coming in, I can now go out into my Porygon 2 and recover up, get my HP back. All he has left is Whimsicott and Tapu Koko sitting in the back. I finally have Camerupt coming in, getting the Stealth Rocks up. Yes, I got the rocks up late, but you know what? The late game rocks are actually very pivotal for me now, as it can weaken his Tapu Koko more and more to where poison damage, toxic damage is just going to be beneficial to me. He's going to go for the Scald. It's going to do about half, a little over half, so I have enough speed on this Porygon 2 to outspeed the Slowbro, just naturally in case he wanted a speed creep. And Porygon 2 is able to recover. He's going to go for Focus Blast and unfortunately miss. Now, I could have gone into Necrozma here. But instead, I decided to fire off a Toxic. Yes, he has a Focus Blast, but I'm not too worried about Focus Blast at all. So I can just recover off the damage. I have higher chances of me recovering the damage than he does of KOing me. There was a crit Focus Blast, and you saw it pretty much just did what a full recover does. He's going to go to his Whimsicott, as I just clicked Ice Beam this turn because at this point Porygon 2 has no real use for me. I figured Tapu Koko would come in at this point, and any damage I can get off on Tapu Koko is actually very good damage. Instead, he actually goes into his Whimsicott, and down goes the Whimsicott. In comes Tapu Koko, going to take Stealth Rock. He's going to get the Electric Terrain up, and he's also going to get toxic damage at the end of this turn. I just decided to sack off my Porygon 2 because of... at this point, there's no real reason for me to keep it alive. Tapu Koko is going to take toxic damage. I can go into my Camerupt now, and with Camerupt coming in, I can just click Earth Power. I have no reason not to click Earth Power. Slowbro is going to come in. It's going to take the Stealth Rock damage. It's going to take toxic damage. It's going to take Earth Power damage. So the damage was going to rack up on the Slowbro. And you're going to see there, it's going to do a good amount of damage with the Toxic. It's going to wear it down even more. Now, I put enough speed on this thing for minimum speed Slowbro, and it looks like he just added enough speed to outspeed my Mega Camerupt. And he's going to go for the Scald and knock me out. So he did have enough speed there on the Slowbro to outspeed my Mega Camerupt. I did not have enough speed to outspeed him, unfortunately. Would have been good, but it allows me to get into my Dawn Wings and Necrozma for free. And I can set up the Autotomize at this point, so now Tapu Koko no longer outspeeds me. And even then, if I just clicked Moongeist Beam, I still have Thundurus in the back, which I'm not too worried about. He's going to go for the Shadow Ball, does the ×4 super effective, not able to actually knock me out. And at this point, I can just Moongeist Beam, and down goes the Slowbro. And with me being at +4 or +2 speed, Tapu Koko no longer outspeeds me as well. And even then, I have him Toxic. I have him coming in on Stealth Rock, so he is well in range of pretty much any attack that my Dawn Wings Necrozma has. As I'm just going to click the Moongeist Beam, and down goes the Tapu Koko, leading to a 2-0 win, so a nice bounce back win after the 2-0 loss last week against the Chicago Carracostas. A very difficult game to prep for, seeing as Lucha Koko is a legit thing. No real ways to break Slowbro safely without having to set up. And then the Deoxys Speed is always just a threat. I've seen Deoxys Speed used very well in League, but it was a good game, Omega. We are now 1-1, 0 differential. Hopefully we can bounce back and, you know what, just pick up a nice couple wins here in the future. But if you guys enjoyed this Week 2 battle, go ahead, like the video, comment your guys' support, subscribe. Also go check out all the ICBA coaches. Links are down in the description. But with all that being said, guys, I am Johnny GB, and I'm out.